February. It's a month all about love, so I want to tell you guys about the books I loved in 2021. I read 19 books. Okay, go me. And I wanted to give y'all a list of my top 5 favorites, but honestly, I could not get down to 5. So here are my top 6 reads of last year in no particular order. All right, I have to mention Twisted, The Tangled History of Black Hair Culture by Emma DeBerry. Y'all know ever since I started wearing my natural hair on TV, I'm getting into all these debates about natural hair and black hair. And y'all know I proudly wear my black kinky hair on TV and in real life all the time. And so I loved this book because she really goes into a lot of the history and research and world views over time on black hair and kinky hair and the racism that comes along with it. The next one's pretty personal. So my mentor, Kim Bondi, who I always tell you guys about, my life idol, introduced me to Bevy Smith way back in the day, like so far back that Bevy was the person who convinced me to get a Twitter. Bevy is inspirational and phenomenal and full of life in real life. And she brings all of that to the book, and it's called Bevelations. Bevy was a person who had a dream life, was making a ton of money, a career that most people would envy, and she wasn't happy. And she left it all behind and rewrote her life to have a life that she actually wanted. Read this book. Bevy proves it is never too late, and there's nothing in your way of having the life you want except yourself. I do a lot of reading about race, and particularly, great time to have this conversation in Black History Month, because we didn't learn so much history in school. I was a super nerd in school. History was not a subject that I liked because we learned about these same 3 wars and the same 3 people all the way from pre-K to college. It took me getting out of college and reading on my own to have an appreciation for history and conversations about race, and to help me articulate a lot of the ideas I was having about race and the experience that Black people were having in America. One of the books that will help you articulate those conversations about race is Caste, The Origins of Our Discontent by Isabel Wilkerson. She's such an amazing writer and basically argues that America has created a caste system based on race. And then I read this 400-page biography. Oh yeah, dragged this one around for weeks, tore it up. About Zora Neale Hurston, wrapped in rainbows, and learned how she was one of the first Black women in America to really be a writer, like as her profession, and how with all of the amazing work that she has that we're still reading today, she died poor because being a Black woman and a writer just really wasn't a thing at the time. I was so moved by her story that I went back and read Their Eyes Were Watching God and some of her other works, and I named my dog Zora. So y'all should know that this is a good one. Y'all know I love a good life story, memoir, autobiography. I picked up Cicely Tyson's because I remember it making news that it came out around the time that she died. And I know that she lived a long, phenomenal life and had an amazing acting career, but I honestly didn't know much else. When I tell you she left nothing untouched in her life, from her relationship with Miles Davis to the racist comments she would get while she was going around promoting her movies, how she was working a boring desk job and literally got up one day and was like, I cannot do this, and asked somebody walking down the street how she could become a model because they complimented her. She's proof that the universe has a plan for us all, and I love stories that remind us of that. I saved this one for last because I recently did a video on it. Will Smith's memoir is just phenomenal. Will Smith's my favorite actor of all time. I went on and on about it in a book review, but you can never say it too many times. What I appreciate most about it is books that make you think about yourself and your own life, and he reflects so much on who he is as a person, for good and for bad, that I don't think you could read this book and not start questioning why you are who you are and what you really want out of life. All right, guys, so if you're gonna pick up anything I read this year, I would make it one of these 6. They're all phenomenal. Happy reading.